Yep, here we are. It is Sunday, time for another altcoin stream, or stocks, or whatever is voted highest, but we just call it an altcoin stream, as that is usually what we analyze most of the time. So welcome everyone, good to have you here on Sunday. Hopefully you have a great weekend so far, and it's time to check out the charts, no? Check out the charts, exactly. Dave Digital, I actually just messaged you. Welcome. Hello, Crypto. Eva, welcome. Good to have you here. Agent, by the way, Dave, thanks for your like. Welcome, everyone. Rabbit Hole, Yaniv, Sam, Martin, welcome. Rabbit Hole, Birabit, right? I think you changed your name, right? If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, welcome. Good to have you here. So, how's your weekend been? What have you been up to? Did you have a good weekend so far? I had a sportive weekend. That's for sure. Yesterday, my wife and I participated in a Spartan race here in the south of France. And we over here made a picture after we both finished. I actually have the medals here in my office, so that is us. And got the medals here, and was great fun, yeah. So Spartan race in Le Dramont, I believe it is, and yeah, we had a good time. So Anita. So that is what we've been up to yesterday. And today, Don Carl, a community member here, I'm not sure if he's live, but Don Carl, his name is Caleb, and I, with a couple of friends of Caleb, went to do some go-karting in the south of France, but not just regular go-karting. It is rally go-karting. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever tried rally go-karting, but it's not a smooth surface. So it's tarmac, but it is incredibly bumpy, and they also wet the track. So it's a lot about drifting and car control, which was incredibly fun. It's the first time I ever did it, and it surely was a great experience. So I can recommend it to everyone. So yeah, yesterday, the whole day we were at the Spartan event, and then today in the morning, Jacob or Caleb, I always have Jacob in my mind, but Caleb and I, we went to the go-karting for a couple of heats. So yeah, great fun. Good day so far. And then I gotta say, when I came back from go-karting, oh, man, I'm like, I can feel the tiredness, you know, like after you have a really busy weekend, or not, like it's not weekend, but if you've done a lot of sports and activities in a few days, you start to feel it. So yeah, I start to feel it, but we're going to analyze the charts. Make sure to vote if you haven't, by the way. All right, so the link is up here. So, yeah, Lucian, all JR, welcome. Good to have you here. Michael, Anton, watching your channel for a long time. Good job. Thanks, Anton, and welcome. And I don't remember seeing a message coming in, but I appreciate you being here for a long time and writing a message here in the live stream. Thanks for supporting the channel for such a long time as well, watching, viewing, and yeah, I appreciate you, man. So thanks for popping in the live. Hasif, shout out. Hasif Bastiar, welcome. Also good to have you here, and I guess this is the shout out, no? If anyone of your family or friends are watching, then also welcome to them. So you're racing on your Insta story. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Yeah, I gotta upload the go-kart stuff still on my Insta story, but yeah. Hello, Crypto Odin. Thanks, appreciate it, guys. Sam, rally karting sounds great. Love also to drift on snowy surface in the mountains. Yeah, I mean, I've never done it on the... Well, I did go-karting. I did snow go-karting in the Netherlands, actually, for a bachelor party of a friend of mine a couple of years ago, which was fun, for sure. And I drifted real cars in Weeze, the airport of Weeze has a section where you can drift with BMW cars. And I did that in 2017. So I do have a little bit of experience drifting. I mean, that was a real car. This was a go-kart. But this was like, some parts of the track were dry, so you could like, you know, full throttle, and then some parts they wet. But also during the race, they wet the track in certain areas. So you might be on the one side of the track, and then when you come back to a corner, it's wet instead of dry. So it makes it a very interesting race. You know, like sometimes you approach the corner and you expected, you know, in the middle of the corner, you expect to have grip, but then they wetten the track because they have the sproeiers, whatever, like the thingies that you know, that spray the water on the track, and then out of nowhere it's wet, and you're like, oh shit, you know, you hit the wall and whatnot. I definitely had a couple of spins as well, but it's easy to then spin back, you know, do a donut and continue. So Lorenz, welcome. Greg, welcome from Boston, man. Cold Spot, see you. Dayan, Budaba, welcome from Thailand, yo. A 350Z, nice. Those are great cars as well. Hey, in 2015, drifting was a therapy. Loved it. Yeah, that's classic. Yeah, 350Z, nice car. Greetings from Riga, Romania. Everyone coming in. Anubis, welcome. So on Bitcoin, price moving up. Now the goal was to reach the daily naked point of control, and well, we did it. So that's nice. Where is my? Oh, here we go. So in today's stream, what we're gonna do is alts and whatever you guys voted for in the list, right? And well, I gotta find an empty page in my. Oh, there we go. And we have a very short look here in like on Bitcoin. But then we go to the alts. So that is what it is about, no? So let me write down the timestamps as well. So let's do Bitcoin shortly. Give you guys a little bit more time to vote, but then we very quickly will go to the alts. Okay. So let's start 13. Now, just to make sure, I don't know what YouTube does and what it doesn't, but YouTube, if anyone from your team is watching this video, this is 0.0%, right? It's called Tourtel Twist. So this is no alcohol, because I actually rarely ever drink alcohol. I'm not a big alcohol drinker. So yeah. Ganam, I came at the perfect time. Welcome, man. Point of control, yeah. So let's analyze. Okay. On Bitcoin, shortly, right? So we had to move to the downside here. Remember, we had a point of control, daily naked point of control, and we found support once, twice, three times, and then the fourth time here. And price is moving to the upside. Now the goal was to reach the daily naked point of control. As mentioned in the previous update, we got close, but I like to see levels hit. And today we actually hit it. Now, just above us, we have a blue box here, which is resistance 62.9, 63.3. And there is two levels that are important in that area. And that is, first of all, the value area high of the volume profile from 49 to where price is now, right? And the second is the point of control of the whole range since March, right? So you can see this over here, the two levels are quite close to one another. And that is the extra confluence I have on my chart, besides this being, sorry, quite simply a support resistance area as well. But yeah, it is an important level on the chart, and the point of control is now touched and passed. It is hit. So that's all good, all nice. Now, nothing has changed from the previous update I did. I don't know if the probabilities are still the same here. Let me have a read. I actually didn't check the so this is from a few days ago, so let me have a double check here. Check. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much still the same, really. So if we open the scenarios, then your most bullish scenario on the 1 hour time frame is a finish structure at the low, right? So a 3-wave structure, ABC or a WXY. Common target area is hit. Now, if that is true, if this is the end, you want to count impulsive moves to the upside. There's 3 impulsive structures, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, traditional impulse, but there's lots of overlap here, so we can't count a normal impulse. Then you have the potential for multi 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 continuation. In this case, 1-2, 1-2. And we want to probably see another 1-2 and then continue. You don't like to see a market structure change. And your first one is a diagonal. So you need a diagonal here because that's your third structure, which is a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever diagonal in here. And that is then your 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be the only way to be really bullish. Your corrective structure is for the bears is that this is WXY stuff, like zigzag family structures to the upside. Doesn't happen very often that during the weekend you start wave 3s. If you do get some sort of a breakout during the weekend, it's very common for price to fall back inside the previous range. So keep an eye on it. Now here on the chart, bearish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. This is an unfinished impulse. And so far, price-wise, didn't hit invalidation. Time-wise, also still okay. But you definitely want to end before touching the 6, which is Tuesday morning, Central European time. I go through this quick because it's an altcoin stream, right? You guys have a bit more time to vote. Now, this, if this continues for a longer period of time, this scenario is going to make more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 wave in B. Move down in C, take out that low, and then finally WX and ABC and Y also take out the low. So we have a couple of scenarios going on. Now from a probability perspective, it goes very quick, but please check out the previous update I've done if you want to actually have detailed information. The probabilities at the moment remain higher to still look for that low to be taken because the move to the upside is, I mean, it's a very messy move. The only way to be very bullish here would be a multi 1-2 to count this as a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Other than that, there's not a great way to count this as an impulse or a bigger diagonal. All right, 1-2, you need a 3, 4, 5. It's too early to call. Yeah, this low is definitely still something I keep an eye on. However, you know, as also explained, when price was here, we were looking for a move to the upside. We got the move to the upside, and then it's about looking for weakness. Now, the daily naked point of control is finally hit, so that is something, of course, that I was looking for. By the way, that also means that I am out of my long, and I will look for new opportunities, either to the up continuation or to the downside. No? So for now, price is moving to the upside. We are above the point of control, the daily naked point of control. A little bit of volume coming in for whatever volume you have during the weekend. You know, it's weekend. So a little bit of volume coming in. But now that we had this move to the upside, quite simply, what I am waiting for, again, is a range to form. We had a range over here, and this is what gives you all the info. Right, on the lower time frame, we had bullish CVDs, bullish CVDs, bullish CVDs. I mean, you know, we just missed out on hitting the daily naked point of control. We wanted to hit the point of control. And with all the bullish CVDs, which basically means, if you don't know what CVD is, there was absorption of market shorts with bigger limit longs to push price up. Very, very, very good indicator. And this is how it looks like, by the way. Locally here, the green line, you see the check because it played out, high got taken. Very, very nice. And yeah, so there you go. And I just wait for a range again. I mean, we're in between like resistance, and the daily naked point of control could act as support. But this move so far, I mean, it doesn't give great impulsive vibes just yet. The only thing, and this is important, that I keep in mind is, remember that we had bullish CVDs here. And when price came down, it wasn't interesting. But as price moved up on a 4-hour, 1-hour time frame locally, with continuous, consistent bullish CVDs all the time, eventually we took out this high. Now guess what? Price moved down. And again, we have bullish CVDs here. And so far locally, we also had bullish CVDs here. Now, only having this once, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to have this whole move towards the upside. But I do keep in mind that if price continues to range locally and continues to form bullish CVDs, you know, that high is definitely on the cards. And at the moment on a 4-hour time frame, probabilities would be higher to sooner or later take out this purely from an Elliott or a CVD perspective. From an Elliott wave perspective, it's a bit tricky at the moment on a 4-hour, and therefore the 1-hour is more interesting. And from an Elliott wave perspective, taking out this low would make more sense. You also have more than enough space to the downside. There's so much room over here, right? You can see that here we had our first move down, range, second leg down, and that's when we moved towards the upside. And on a CVD chart, if I got to go up in time frame here, 4-hour. So on the CVD, you can see here that price had a first move down, started ranging. We already had bullish CVD, higher low in price, but a lower low on yellow, and also here lower low on blue. So we had bullish CVDs here, but we still moved down and down and down and down, right? And then later, we actually got to move up. But I am aware of the bullish CVD here. And that's all I really want to say about CVD on the higher time frame. So, yeah. Bitcoin to 30K. Maybe. Okay. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure to get your vote in, and let's get this started, shall we? Now this usually goes pretty quick because a lot of the alts tend to be revoted, and I don't then hang around a lot of spend a lot of time on those alts because we did them last time. Same with Sol. So it's going to go quick, but therefore we can generally do a lot of different alts during the stream. So let's start with Solana. Go down. Where do we go? There we go. There we go. So on Solana, your highest probability scenario is a bullish impulsive structure to the upside, which is this 5-wave structure, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Target area for 4, more than enough room to the downside, really. 1116 to 60.3, right? So we hit the 0.236. That is a target for 4. All the way down to the 0.5 is common, but preferably the 382 would be like a maximum if you do come down. You have some, there we go. You have some support at 100, point of control of this small little range to the downside. As you can see, it is not touched. So that would be your most important support to the downside. And yeah, I mean, on Solana, weekly time frame, still looking for price to move towards the upside. Now, the bearish scenario is an ABC that is finished. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C. Two things here that lower probabilities. First, your wave 2 is longer in time than your wave 4, which lowers probabilities, as most commonly a wave 4 is longer in time than a wave 2. Second, your wave C is very extended. Take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of A to the low of your B. Toggle on the wave C targets. And the 1 to the 1.236 is your common target. 1.618 still a target, still relatively common. But if you pass the 1.618, probabilities go up for a wave 3. Even if you do this, by the way, and you select this low, we still pass the 1.618. So from an Elliott wave probability point of view, it just makes more sense to count an impulse here compared to an ABC to the upside, which then leads us to the scenario that you see on the chart. Which is your highest probability Elliott wave scenario. We're then looking for price to take out the high of 3 and then pretty much take it from there. You're very close to all-time highs. And when you take all-time highs, it actually trading price discovery, price action is incredibly easy. Because you just got to wait for a range to form. When you hit price discovery, you don't have previous structures for support, resistance. It's all about local price action, which is generally what I like the most. Also in Bitcoin, right? I love the lower time frames. You just got to wait and wait and wait. And then eventually price is going to make a bigger range, which gives us all the information we need. But I do have a little bit of a target here. So 247 to 317, common target for a 5. The white 5, uncommon would be 315, 623, and then another 4, 5. This is very hypothetical, so don't really want to talk about that. Let's stick to the local stuff here. Looking for 4 and still a 5 towards the upside on Solana. So yeah, that's that really. And so probabilities. I also like to stick around on the weekly because yeah, like I think those are very clear time frames during alt streams, and I don't do alts, of course, every day like Bitcoin, multiple times a day. So on Bitcoin we can go to the very low time frames, but on alts it's generally not really worth it. Make sure to vote. So if you want to see something, USDT.D. Oh, that's the... Let's see what kind of chart this is. I'm not even sure if I ever did USDT.D. Reorganized it, and some may have been left out. Yeah, I don't know. I just used ChatGPT to... like here, alphabetical order and big letters. And then this was my previous list. And it gave me a new list. Maybe some of the alts or something. Maybe ChatGPT didn't fully copy every alt. But I don't know. And I also know that if it's missing, then people will let themselves be heard. And I just add it again. So yeah. Hence I mentioned, if it's not in the list, make sure to... write me so I can add it. Okay, so this is a percentage chart. Interesting, from 0 to 5. Okay, I don't really think we have a lot going on here. Horizontal lines off. What's this? No idea what this is. Turn that off. I do apparently have something here, so let's see what this is, but this is very, very old. Let's see, 1, 2, and then a smaller 1, 2, 3. It looks a bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Golden pocket is touched. Okay, bearish scenario. WXY. You can also like see the call A, W, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. Not bad. Okay, it's old analysis, but not too shabby. The most interesting thing would be to look at this part of the chart, because if impulsive, right, you need 5 waves. Now, honestly, so this is a... was that a little dinosaur at the bottom? I don't know. Maybe it's trading view. Like if you open a DOGE chart, then sometimes DOGE actually appears. Yeah. Now, so here's the thing. This is a percentage chart, right? Can you do Elliott waves on a chart like this? Yeah. Is it preferred? No, because of course, preferably you use price charts over percentage charts. Holy shit, is this of course a messy chart. You actually don't have structure here because price only moves up. Now here we then have of course your bullish count in this case. I gotta look, why did I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? If this is a 1, this 1, 2, 3 sideways 4. I think because of the range here, probably labeled this 4, have some sort of a 5, 3 wave, whatever. 2 doesn't make sense to count that in a lot of detail. This is quite simply multi 1, 2 is your bullish scenario here. Oh yeah, the start of the wait. You mean this? Oh, I thought you maybe saw a dinosaur like popping up here. Like sometimes the DOGE chart does that. Yeah, well then. It's this, yeah, like, I mean, chat tells you, chat knows. There you go. Yeah, it's the beginning. Yeah. That's what the dinosaur means. Nice one. So yeah, right. Okay, well let's look locally here, not like daily. So I also don't really know what I am analyzing. Yeah, market cap, USDT dominance. These are charts I never visit. So this analysis here is incredibly old. This is a weekly time frame. So I must have analyzed this ages ago. At least I must have had the B. So or not? Yeah, probably. So this is somewhere early 2023 when the channel was already existing here. So I guess that's why I look at this. Someone must have asked about it. And then the conclusion was looking for a 3-wave structure down and then multi 1, 2, and then here's your target area. Finished after the 1. I mean, time-wise would be nice to finish. And the bearish scenario, yeah, WXY. I mean, what the fuck? A, B, C, W. Why do I start with A here? I don't know what this bearish count is. I'm gonna remove this from my chart. That's bullshit. So old analysis from Koen. So okay, this is a lower high on the chart. Can we make anything from this chart? Like 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. If this is a 1, we need a 5-wave structure in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 is shorter than 2, but that's then just the way it is. Or you need a truncated 5, but that's very rare. It's never preferred. This is market cap USDT dominance. The higher the number, the lower the liquidity available in the market. Interesting. Yeah, like Hamza, for me it's the same. I never visit these type of charts. So interesting. But let's have a look. And also, therefore, like, look, we got an 886 touch, right? If you take from the high to the low, then clearly we touch the 886 here. The question is, does the 886 apply to a percentage chart? If yes, probabilities are higher to take the high, and everything here has a high probability of being corrective, not impulsive. So that would be the bias in that case. So can definitely count impulse, correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can definitely count impulsive structures to the downside. But this here, if it goes up, people sell crypto. Okay. Interesting. Okay. But when we look at this local chart here, so there we go again, right? There's only, let's actually get to the analysis. There's three ways. If this is your low, if this is the low, right, and we move up, you need to look for an impulse, diagonal, or a multi 1-2. Those are the only three structures that will get you to all-time highs on this chart, if that is something you talk about on a percentage chart. So that means an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. No overlap between 1 and 4 is allowed. Now here we have move up, overlap, up, overlap, up, overlap. In other words, there's no impulse. Then we have a diagonal. Now in a diagonal, you can have either a diagonal that is like impulse, 3-wave, impulse, 3-wave, impulse, or every wave is a 3-wave structure. And that makes a potential leading diagonal very tricky. Now here we have move up, okay, sideways. Now if this is a wave 3, 4, and a 5, right? If this would be a diagonal, it's an expanding diagonal. Expanding diagonal, very rare, never preferred, unless every other scenario fails. So therefore, if this would be a diagonal, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the question is wave 5 longer than wave 3? We take a trend-based fib from the start to the end of 3 to the end of 4. And yes, wave 5 is longer. That is not allowed. Let me also just, for the sake of completion, yeah, that is indeed not allowed because, wait, where is it? Because your wave 1 is longer than your wave 3, and your wave 3 is shorter than your wave 5. And that's not allowed. Now in an expanding diagonal, right, where you would have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5 wave structure, and then you somehow need an A, B, whatever, C, W, X, Y. Anyway, expanding diagonal is very rare. It doesn't make sense to talk about it. So a diagonal to the upside doesn't work. An impulse doesn't work. So your only bullish alternative is a multi 1-2. And a multi 1-2 would be counting this move up as a 1. So then we need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we do have overlap here. So that means we then need to count this as a diagonal. You have a 2. 5-wave structure. That's another 1. You need another 2. And then the price action you have here, right? 1, it's just a bunch of 1-2s. Now, the moment your market structure is changing, I mean, that's a problem for the, or not, I don't know, depends on the meaning of the chart, of course, like Odin explained. But probabilities are high that this percentage structure is going to move below this low. Now, by all means, counting this as individual impulses isn't that great already. This needs to be a 1, 2, then you need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Now this looks very 3-wavy here at the end on a daily time frame. This being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for then another 4, 5. Your wave 2 is bigger than your wave 4. It's ugly. You know, we cannot deny. Your second wave 1 is longer. Oh no, shorter in price, so that's fine. But your third is longer than your second wave 1. This looks very 3-wavy as an ABC instead of an impulse. There's the potential to count this as 5 waves, but this looks much better as a 3-wave, which makes one think if this is potentially either an X or a B. And if this is a wave X, we have a zigzag in a W, X, and then we need a Y. It's like I'm just trying to fish for stuff that's bullish, because actually the probabilities are looking better for the bears. So I'm just trying to like have a look if there's any way of counting this move up as a bull, percentage moving up, basically. You didn't hit the 0.9, so WX, if you triangle ABC, C took the low, so that is not allowed. Don't have a flat, can't be a zigzag. So WXY doesn't really look good. And if this is an ABC, which means ABC, you need an impulse down plus price action. So this is also what happens during alt streams, because I do quite a lot of live analysis at times. It goes very quick. Very quick. Yeah, we already passed the 2 fib time, so it also makes an ABC, low probability. So if we do have a multi 1-2, then 1-2, 1-2, and you want this to be another 1-2. Now that means this wave 2 is of course enormous compared to the previous wave 2s, longer than twice the length. And then this. Yeah, it doesn't look great. So at the moment, probabilities are higher. This move up is corrective, not impulsive, which increases the probabilities to still take out the low. The reason is, counting this as an impulse, very low probabilities. You have overlap, which isn't allowed in impulses. In a diagonal structure, the only option would be an expanding diagonal, very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails, which basically means all the bearish scenarios have to fail. And that leaves you with a multi 1-2, triple 1-2 in this case, because of the length in time of this structure over here. Yeah, that also is low probabilities. Also, just this structure is much longer than previous wave 2s. And this also has to be a 5-wave structure in that case, but it looks very 3-wavy on a daily time frame here, unless you somehow have a very mini wave 4. This is your 2, meaning 4 is shorter than 2. Also low probabilities. So yeah, there you go, really. So probabilities would be higher for percentage. Usually I say price, but for percentage, you actually take out that low. Look, I don't know what that does. What like, of course Odin explained, but this move up so far is very ugly. From an Elliott wave point of view, there is no clear way to count this as a nice impulse, diagonal, and what you have left is a multi 1-2. If you take out this low, yeah, you look for that low pretty much. So you have a 3-wave structure so far to the downside. Oh, I do wanna say this, by the way. 1 second here. I do want to say this because this is important. What we just analyzed is the daily time frame. But let's go to the weekly, because on a weekly time frame there's 2 things that support bulls. One, you touch the 886. 2, there is overlap with the first move down and this move up, because we can do the same on a weekly time frame with bearish scenarios. If we are bearish, we need impulsive structures down. Cool. We have a 3-wave structure. Not an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not allowed. Wave 1 and wave 4 are overlapping. So an impulse, nope. Which means a diagonal is only a possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is that, 1 second, your wave 4 is longer in price than your wave 2, which means this has to be an expanding diagonal, which again is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. And then you are stuck with a multi 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 down. The problem here is that your second wave 1 is so much longer than your first, but this is a lower degree wave 1. Your highest degree 1 is the one here that I have in green now. And your lower degree 1 is the blue one. Most commonly, a lower degree count is, let's say, most commonly, a lower degree wave 1 is shorter in time and price than a higher degree 1, or like relatively similar. Now, this move down and this move down are by no means similar. right? This blue one, lower degree, is much bigger than the higher one. So it also increases probabilities. This is a three-waver. Now an ABC, which this can be, as I show over here, an ABC can be part of a bigger corrective structure, right? So think about triangles. ABC, A, B, C, D, E. Poof, and then you continue to the upside, right? So the fact that price moved up here, overlapped with this low, hit an 886, increases the probabilities to take that high on a weekly time frame. Now on a daily, this is really ugly for an impulse. However, the bears need to take the low here, change the market structure, just to be sure to invalidate multi-1-2s here. You want to change the structure at the moment. Which so far you just make higher lows, no? So change the structure would be a good start. But this being a three-wave structure at the moment to the downside, higher probability it is compared to more bearish scenarios, increases the probabilities to take out this high. So on the weekly, the probabilities at the moment are higher to take that high. On the daily though, this looks corrective, not impulsive. Guys, does this help? Because this is not a percentage chart. Do you want to know anything else here? I don't have experience with a percentage chart, but from a pure Elliott wave perspective, this is the conclusion really. So, but even without the 886, if you forget about the 886, you still at the moment can't count a high probability impulse to the downside here. So the probabilities remain higher. This is corrective. Now the thing is, a ABC down can be part of many corrective structures. So you can extend this corrective structure for a very long period of time, because an ABC can be part of, okay, here you go, can be part of a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, continue, can be part of a flat, A, B, C, can be part of a double zigzag, W, X, Y, right? Can be part of a triple zigzag, W, X, Y, X, Z, can be part of a WXY, W, X, Y, and then move up, right? So the only thing you have is a three-wave structure up and a really messy move to the upside, which therefore does increase the probabilities. If we combine the weekly time frame probabilities with what we see here, the probabilities at the moment are higher to continue ranging on this thing instead of doing this, right? So continue ranging on the weekly, right? Sideways price action, corrective price action, where this move up has a higher probability of being corrective as well. But what then the corrective structure is very much depends on when the move up is pretty much finished and you actually stop making higher highs and higher lows. And that is when you can revisit this chart and see, okay, how high did we get, right? Is there the potential for WXY, ABC, double zigzag to the downside and then move up? But by all means, the weekly bias is to take the high. Daily bias is that this is corrective. And because the probabilities are higher, this is corrective, you're going to be preferably looking here for further sideways price action or possibly the low before at a later stage tackle out the high. Right? There's no guarantee to take the low as a triangle, of course doesn't. No? But we only have a three-wave structure, so you need to wait for this move up to be finished. So, yeah. Interesting chart actually. And I do see the convo in the chat here. Keep an eye on it. Would you like to see this go? I don't know, Ko. Because I never look at these charts, so I think I would need a deeper meaning. Now Odin did a good job on explaining here. Crypto if it goes up, it usually means people are selling their crypto. So basically, if you're an investor, you want it to go down because then people hold on to their crypto or they invest in crypto, right? So I guess that's then, yeah, that's what you want to see. Yeah, yeah, you too, Ganem. You too. Everyone did a good job, all of you. Put it next to Bitcoin. I don't need, like, guys, I'm a trader. I only trade Bitcoin. I don't even know how to put 2 charts on my trading view window because I don't use that stuff in my trading ever. So I don't know what indicator templates, but like, I don't know, whatever Bitcoin, it's an altcoin stream. So let's just continue on the alts because I'm completely clueless about using TradingView to that extent. So yeah. Okay, let's go to that next. Thanks, guys. Interesting. Okay, let's continue here. We have a lot more to cover before we wrap things up later. So, okay, on SWI, everything going according to plan. Did we hit the 886 now? Yes, we did. Now, after an 886 touch, be aware that from an Elliott wave point of view, or actually not really Elliott wave point of view, but this is something you do see often with the 886 touch, and the 886 is important in Elliott waves. But the 886 is touched, and be at least aware of a retracement to a golden pocket. That's also why it is a template, right? I have here 618 retest. So the probabilities, because price hit the 886, are higher to take the high, period, right? 886 touched, increased probabilities to take out all-time high and go into price discovery on SUI. Highest probability at the moment is you have a 1-2, 1-2, and then you look for an impulse up, high amount of volume as well. That's what you like to see in a wave 3 to the upside. But you did hit the 886. It is very, very normal for price to stagnate at the 886, which is what you see now over here, right? So we had candle number 1 closing below after touching it. Candle number 2 over here still ranging below. Probably, of course, this weekly candle is also going to close below the 886. Be aware about spending some time here before looking for continuation and the high. Preferably your low, of course, here is in. And you hit the 786. I believe we had a daily here as well as Confluence. Probably removed everything already. I just have the bullish scenario. What's this? Oh, no, here you go. There's the daily. So, yeah, hit the daily, close on top of the weekly, and up we went. So, yeah, very, very nice. Highest probability was bullish. Probably SUI was one of the best charts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then higher probability corrective move down. As we have covered SUI actually a lot of times over the past months, we had the opportunity to analyze the move to the downside, see the daily hit, and now you have the move up. I mean, pretty brilliant. How big is this? Not bad. Little 300%. Well, no, I'll probably have to refresh the poll. But I refresh the poll ever so often, Clement. I'll do it after SUI. So the new votes are not auto-calculated. I need to refresh it. So, yeah, I mean, what to say? This is, that's the analysis, basically, on SUI. Let me refresh here. Okay, we're gonna tick the boxes. Oh, okay. Validated support resistance. Bearish, bullish. Oh yeah, okay. So on this chart, 1 second. Sorry. So on this chart, it is most interesting actually. Like on most of the alts, I'm active on the weekly, but actually on near the daily is more interesting because of the move to the downside. It's all about this. The move up here is not really interesting. If you're very bearish, this has to be an impulse down and not corrective structures. But as we analyze near over the past months as well, as it is very popular in the voting, the probabilities are higher. This move down is corrective, not impulsive. Now, what do we mean? Zigzag family structures to the downside. We have, and it already started in this section over here, where the probabilities are higher. This is a three-wave structure. And if you want to be bearish, this had to be a 1, a flat in 2, and then another 1, flat in 2, and then, you know, etc. basically. But then counting this as a 1 would be a diagonal. Very, very big 2. Another 1, normal 2 in time, right? And then you would need another 1, and then, you know, another 2. But then you go into like multi 1-2 behavior, which is basically what you see on my chart here. Now, if I take a fib from the high to the low, we almost touched the 886. You do like to see this hit. Just, it gives extra confirmation of this being corrective, not impulsive. And you can see that your wave 2 here, if you count 1, flat in 2, is 11 times longer than your 1, which is very, very uncommon, right? It's very rare, and not even uncommon, it's very rare for a wave 2 to be more than 11 times longer in time than wave 1. That's very, very big. And your wave B is also below the 1.618. Now, little side, like common target for B is the blue fibs, right? The 1.618, you actually don't really like to see it hit in a flat. Now, it is an altcoin, plus all the candles closed above the 1.618. So that is why this fib is not in my group here, because I can see it as like, okay, I get it, you know, altcoin, you know, at least everything closes above the 1.618. So I take it, but the time element here is pretty ridiculous. But your second flat here, that's perfectly fine. This is what you like to see, to a 1 fib time close before the 1 fib time, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, your bullish scenario is of course that this is corrective with the potential of a triple zigzag. So you then have a 3 corrective structure, a 3 corrective structure with the potential of another 3. And because of your first 1-2, probabilities are automatically higher for this being corrective than impulsive, which means bulls compared to the bears. Now, with regards to support, and it's a very messy chart, but my most interesting area for near would be at 227. Now that is like, if you come down, that is of course a very 50% drop. I mean, Bitcoin would need to move below 49k pretty much for near to go that far. But if you do come down, this is interesting. And then around 280, more interesting support. We hit the point of control. This was the target box, what we were looking for. Moved up to resistance, simple support resistance area, back to support. Tried moving above the resistance, but now we're back below again. So yeah, keep an eye on that 886, 5969. You know, trading is not about catching the exact highs and the exact lows. It's about having the probabilities and the edge in your favor, right? I mean, that's why it's called an edge. You want to have the probabilities in your favor, trade an edge. And sometimes, you know, like patience is necessary. Look for price to prove you it wants to move to the upside. At the moment here locally, yeah, this is quite similar to Bitcoin, no? Move up, down. So very similar price action to what Bitcoin shows. What's Bitcoin doing, by the way? Little rejection. So I can't deny that this also looks 3 wavy on the 4 hour. Same as Bitcoin. 3 correction, 3. Potential for an impulse to the downside here. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Short 4s though compared to the 2s. But yeah, this is the same as Bitcoin. It looks very 3 wavy. It doesn't look like nice impulses. Take out this high, and we can start to be nice and bullish on near. Market structure is down. Probabilities are higher that this is corrective. So yes, on a high time frame, if you go to a weekly, probabilities remain higher to look for the high, right? And bullish continuation. But yeah, you want this high at 651. You got to take that. Change market structure. If you come down, then 280 and 270 or 227 is those are my 2 areas of interest, really. So yeah, probabilities remain higher to look up, just because this being higher probability corrective structure. Now, how to count this as an impulse, though, that's a bit tricky. Makes me think of Ethereum. You can't count this 1 2 3 4 5 overlap. This being a 1 2 1 2 means your second 2 is incredibly long. You don't have any 2s here that can give you a wave 4 this size, because your wave 4, if this is a 4, is so much bigger to any slow or a low time frame range you had here, which doesn't make sense at all. So the probabilities start to increase that whatever this is, it's a separate structure. So on Ethereum, similar, like there's the potential here for a 3-wave, bigger corrective move before you continue at a later stage. So that basically you're still in the bear market. It's still corrective price action, not impulsive price action. But that's weekly stuff. I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not too big of a fan looking at the weekly. The daily is more interesting. Daily higher probability that this is corrective, not impulsive. Elliott trades pattern up. Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for thanks for popping in. I appreciate your message. Makes me happy, man. Reading you guys messages, the comments, emails. I get emails from people as well, talking about their journey and what the channel has done for them, or what they've learned, or yeah, it's great to read DMs as well. Thanks, guys. I mean, it makes my day, you know. And that's also what I do it for, you know. I mean, why else would I share everything I know online? I mean, I just want to share it to, hopefully it helps people. Maybe I can helps people, educate people. Elliott waves is very tricky, so hopefully in a way I can make things a little bit more simple. I do tend to talk quite quick and analyze quick, but if there's questions, there's many live streams we do, so I can explain and educate and all that stuff. I hope it's useful. So, I mean, trading by myself, I've done it for quite a while, but actually trading can be very lonely, not gonna lie. It's great if you have a community, either ours now or back in the day. I was in several communities, like Beerabit had a community himself and I was part of his. Beerabit is a trading friend of mine. We both pretty much started at the same time. And it's nice to share. It's nice to be part of something bigger than just yourself and your trading window, I suppose. LinkedIn, nice. Chainlink, that's actually what I wanted to say, not LinkedIn, Chainlink. Oh boy. So on Link, we hit support, big wick to the downside. Nothing really changed here because we are still grinding against this resistance. You gotta pass it, man. You gotta pass it. Like, it's the same as what I said earlier, where I don't care about buying highs and buying lows. I buy probabilities or sell probabilities, but not moving above this very simple support resistance area does not yet show a lot of strength that I would like to see, right? If you can pass this move up, maybe preferably a retest, which would be ideal, no? But at least moving above would be a sign of strength, and close a weekly candle above. What's the high here? Above, let's say 13.514. But yeah, at the moment we're still below. Now, from an Elliott wave point of view, the probabilities are highest that this is a wave 1 to the upside, and we have 2. This is your common target area for 2, 868 to 667. As you can see, still a little bit more room, just in case. You're going to look for wave 3 up. The reason the probabilities are higher that this is a wave 1, a 2, and then look for a 3 or ABC in a bearish scenario. But 1, 2, 3, take out the high at least, take it from there, is that in a bearish scenario, this has to be a wave C. However, that means that this is your A, this is your B, and your wave B retraced to the 105 Fibonacci. Not a common target for a wave B, but it is a target. But then you have your wave C, and your wave C is very extended. So, where is it? Your wave C here, move beyond the most common target, the 1.618, to the 2.618, right? Again, and the 2.618 is an uncommon target. So you have a 105 and a 2.618. Both are not common. The 105 is a common target for a regular flat, but a regular flat target is the 1 to the 1.236, which is here, below the 1.618. And of course, we pushed through that massively. I mean, we just kept moving up. So therefore, probabilities are higher to count it impulsive as a 1 instead of corrective as a C. And also from a trading perspective, it's just the easiest because you have a very clear invalidation, which is this low, right? And there's a lot of potential. So if it does go, right, I mean, the potential for upside is a lot bigger than downside. Plus, there's an invalidation. And if price would take out the low, cool. Yeah, no problem. You'd be looking again for proofs of support, new impulsive structure, retracement, ups, do the same thing again. Even more potential now. I mean, who cares, right? So with good risk management, some of these alts have incredibly easy setups. And this chart here, Link, higher probability to count the 1, 2 and still look for price to take out the high. Partly because on a daily time frame, same as on near, probabilities here are higher. This is corrective. So if I open the volume, do this, you can see probabilities here are higher. This is a 3-wave structure. Highest amount of volume is in the low. Now, if this is an impulse, you want the highest volume to be in a wave 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, where's 5? We never got 5. We moved up, and we moved up too high to count this wave 4. Doesn't work. So the probabilities are higher. This is a 3-wave, but this is also a 3-wave. And then this also, 1 second, counts best as a 3 wave. Again, highest volume, final candle. Can we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, 4 is too high. Right? So the probabilities are higher at the moment. You have a 3, 3, 3, question mark. Is this another 3? And just like on near, for example, you look for price, take the low, 535, and then, or is the low already in? Now, if you change market, I mean, WX, you need to take this high, that's a little bit high. But yeah, we do have still 719 as the point of control of this whole range. So there's definitely some interesting support to the downside. And we do have the 786. And the point of control, the red line here, is above the 786. So we have enough room. Now, if price does move above this resistance, things can start to be more interesting. As long as it doesn't, I'm a bit more on the cautious side. Because you just want to get back inside the upper range and also stay there. So preferably retest. Right, not like on near, move up and below again on the daily. Just up, stay up, retest, and then change the structure. But yeah, at the moment the probabilities are higher. This is corrective, and on a weekly time frame, all the lower time frame stuff, it doesn't matter, right? That's for the snipers. Probabilities are higher to take out that high. Very clear invalidation, very clear area of support, very clear still support down. And very clear support resistance area, like link. It's very clear, I suppose. So yeah. Let's see. We've done all of that. ADA. 112. So the reason I write the timestamps down is because then, in hindsight, after the live stream, I can very quickly put the timestamps in the video, and then you guys can immediately, after a few minutes, see what's up. Okay, Cardano. Got a couple of folders here, so let's see. Render. Isn't, I think Render DAO, I don't know if that happened during your trading break, but it changed in like the ticker. Instead of R on the R, it's something different. I forgot what it was, though. Chat will know. And if it's... rendered. Render changed, yeah. Yo, Tof, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being here. Now, very simple technical analysis. Volume profile here on the chart. Right, and the reason it's on the chart is because of the point of control and confluence with a weekly and a monthly plus order block. So resistance is 118, 114. Now we're not even close to that area. So locally here, we found support on the daily, which comes from here. And we still have one there. Okay. But just like on Link, as well as near, because near had a little up and it lost it again, and now near is over here. It's not great, right? You gotta move above, preferably on a weekly. Same with Link. Right, so here, many alts, by the way, support, resistance. Okay, you know, we're getting, we made a low, we hit the, oh, actually, we already hit the lower daily as well, I just see, nice. So we're moving on top of support, but this is your most important resistance locally. So 44 to 47, gotta move above that, no? Okay, anyway, from an Elliott wave point of view, what do I have? It's been a while since we checked Cardano. This is of course most bullish. Okay, simple, finished ABC, bullish. Okay, there we go. So on the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour weekly time frame, your bullish scenario. Sorry guys, I'm very tired. Busy weekend. So on the weekly time frame here, your bullish scenario from the low is an impulsive structure to the upside. In this case, we then finished our wave 1, 2, we want to see price move up in 3. Now it's no problem to have a few 1-2s, 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 right? All good, all fine. You want to move above the support resistance area and then continue. One thing that I do think is tricky on Cardano is this range here. So it's not a great range, this one. Like if you got like wave 3, what's up with Bitcoin? I see nothing. I mean 62.7. I see BTC exit, but still moving. So on Cardano here, you have this range in the middle of like an impulse up, quick move up, sideways range, quick move up. Right, like wave 3 has to be a 5-wave structure. Problem solved. Yep. And that would be the only way to count this as an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure. This is then your 4. Now look at the volume. Highest volume is in a wave 5, but it is inside a 3. So okay, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, now it makes more sense. I had to readjust that. No idea why I didn't do that earlier. So same as on Link, the scenario is very easy. You're at the golden pocket, very clear in validation, probabilities to take that high, and this is your higher probability scenario, because just like on Link, your bearish scenario is that this is a wave C. But that would mean you need a flat here. You need a flat ABC, 3-wave A, 3-wave B, and then a 5-wave C to the upside. But you encounter the same struggles. So we need this, and then you hit the 105, right? So again, you hit the 105. Let me see if that's the lower one. Yeah, so you always hit the 105, less common for a wave B. And the target, so the 105 is common for a regular flat, but a regular flat A, B hitting the 105, and then C, common target is here for a regular flat, but we moved above it. We even retested the area. So therefore it increases probabilities that this move up is impulsive, not corrective. And therefore it's interesting to look towards the upside. Now that brings me back to better safe than sorry and having probabilities in my favor. I don't care about catching lows, neither do I care about exiting or catching highs. We had support, nice, good move to the upside. This is your resistance at like 0.5, no? Well, a little bit lower, 0.45, 0.46, 47. So for now, we are just ranging between support and resistance. There's no clear direction on the chart. Same price action as Bitcoin, a 3-wave structure, 3-wave structure, a 3-wave structure, X, right? So very, very clear 3-wavy. So for the bulls, you're gonna start thinking, of course, about diagonals, and for the bears, WXY, double zigzag, sideways price action. For the bulls, it's just important to clear the resistance. You know what to say. But yeah, higher probability scenario is this. Oh, another reason is, by the way, the move to the downside here. Right, so we have the highest amount of volume in the low. if this is an impulse, you want to count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need to finish a 5 at one of these lows, right? Which also means you need a bounce. Oh. And the 0.382 is a minimum target, touched. But at the low, not touched. Plus you need to count a 5, so it needs to be 1, 2, 3, you need a 4, and then a 5. 5 has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't make sense to count this as the end of a 5 if this is very bearish. You would need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of this has to be 5. But this move up doesn't make any sense, so preferably your 5 is then finished here. And then you have a 3, you need a 3, and then what? W, X, and then a Y. The problem is W here. Sorry guys, this is going very quick. I'm just trying to talk and share my thoughts while I like do my stuff. But this is a wave B flat. It hit the 1.618, lower probabilities. So preferably we end 5 here, and then you have A, B, C. But we never got a C up to take the high of A. W, X, Y. W here is a zigzag. Y can only be either a flat or a triangle, but both cases already failed because we took the high. And a wave Y can also not be a WXY double zigzag. So yeah, it just adds like probabilities higher that what's going on here is corrective. W, yeah, it would be nicer to count this same as link. So we have then W, X, and then you have Y with the potential of another XZ. That's your bearish scenario. Probabilities are higher for Cardano that this is corrective in a 1-2 and still take out the high at a later stage. Okay. Done. NVDA. Tesla. Okay. We will be very quick with these. I'm actually not sure if I got them in a list here. Because are they still at all-time high or not? Do I have them in the list or do I not have them in the total? No, I don't. Okay, time. Okay. Let's see where we are on Tesla. Group 1, 3, 4. Not bad. ABC. My gold analysis is on the channel for daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. It's a video that's like 2 months old, but it's still very relevant. It still shows what you want to look for on gold. Okay, Tesla. So okay, we have whatever 1, and then we have 2, and then we have a sharp move up. That's your 3, 4. 0.382 is a common target for 4. Most bullish scenarios, of course, a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, off you go in 3. But it's always better to be conservative. Plus, it's the highest probability scenario until proven otherwise, with this move up being incredibly bullish and going to the moon. So, this is your higher probability. Looking for 4, 38205, common target for wave 4 as well. And we have a first structure down. Oops, touch the keyboard. Invalidation is 46, 45.95 here. Now on Tesla, another reason why the probabilities are higher to take the high is because probabilities are highest that this is a three-wave structure to the downside, which means the probabilities are higher that the move down is corrective, not impulsive, and therefore the probabilities are higher to still take out this high. Now a double zigzag, ABC, correction, ABC, has already lower probabilities because price touched the 0.7. I did it while talking just now, but you may saw me do it. So take a fib from the high to the low. 0.7 is touched. The moment the 0.7 is touched, probabilities go down for a double zigzag WX and then a zigzag in a wave Y, naturally. However, there is no problem with this being the first structure of a bigger sideways corrective move, right, in time. Because of course on the higher time frame, if we're looking for a wave 4, this is still quite short for 4 if you compare it to, for example, your 2, right, unless 2 is this, but at least here. So it's no problem for this wave 4 to extend in time, right? But by all means, the probability on Tesla are higher to take out that high, right? So Elliott waves gives directional bias. If you go to the lower time frames, you can also quite easily trade it. This is more investing. It's the weekly time frame, monthly time frame, right? No problem. Three-wave structure down, perfectly fine. We already know a WXY double zigzag has lower probabilities. Now, count this as an ABC, again, opens up, that is what I have here. It opens up like possibilities to count a bigger sideways move. Now, a WXY double zigzag, low probabilities, which means we are then left with sideways, WXY, a triangle, ABCDE up, a flat, but then you take the high anyway, right? So currently these scenarios are highest to, at a bare minimum, continue ranging and take out the high, right? Your most bearish scenario would be WX and then a sharp zigzag in Y to really, really go down. And even if you take the low, looking for WXY, but that's more of a ranging structure. You can take the low and then you move up, no problem. But probabilities on Tesla are highest to look for upside. I once upon a time put this triangle on my chart here, A, B, C, D, and then E. Now your D is preferably finished here after a three-wave structure, has to be said. So if you take out this high, the probabilities for a triangle, well, it will go down. So you do want all the waves of a triangle to be zigzag family structures, and we can see a three-wave up. And we don't have a lot of space between D and B is the invalidation. So if you want D to end higher here, we get very close to invalidation. So preferably it doesn't. Again, probabilities are higher to take out the Tesla high. And then I think the next one was, NVIDIA was actually first. Anyway, then we go to NVIDIA. And I think NVIDIA was the one that was at all-time high and touched the 886. So it like on a weekly time frame, it's almost like, hey, we didn't touch the 886, and then you go to a daily, and we still didn't touch the 886. Wait, where did we touch it? 1 second. We had Kun. You serious, mate? Okay, we didn't touch the 886. In my memory, I don't know when we did NVIDIA, but that's a long time ago. I thought it touched the 886, but it didn't. Time is 1:29. So on NVIDIA, I have an 886 on my chart. It's important because hitting the 886 increases probabilities to take out this high. Any move down, higher probability of being corrective, not impulsive, so you still expect price to take out this high later. So by all means, 886 probability is high to take the high. Generally, the 886 does give a reaction, but you look for continuation afterwards. So it's about directional bias, and then your personal trading plan can get yourself an entry, no? Now on NVIDIA, I don't have anything going on. Oh, we hit support. We have overlap here. All right, low, high. 1, 2. Quick little look. Can we count this as a diagonal? In other words, can we count this as a bearish impulsive structure? Okay, wave 3 is longer than wave 1. That's not an invalidation. I don't need log here, by the way. Yeah, so wave 3 is longer than 1. If we want to count this as a potential diagonal, that's what I'm checking. Which is not an invalidation, but it does lower the probabilities. It's not really what you like to see. And then we have... Yeah, I mean, 5 is definitely shorter than your 3. One, two. Thinking. Doesn't count nicely as an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2. Yeah, cool. 3, but you can't have a flat and a 4 in a diagonal overlapping with 1. That's not allowed. So yeah, you can count whatever 5, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. But then you get a 3, and a flat is not allowed in a 4 for a final leg down in 5. So peaceful when I don't talk, huh? So if you look at, this is what I'm doing, by the way. I'm quiet when I'm thinking, but you can see how price accelerated to the upside, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe a single 1, 2 here, or you got like then another low, like 1, 2, 1, 2 here, question. And then you start the acceleration. So the acceleration to the upside is then counted as your wave 3. But you can also see that the range you had here and the range you had here is not as big as the ranges you had here. So it doesn't like make a lot of sense to me. Wait, 1 to 1 here. So this is this is a lot shorter in time. This one is also shorter in time, while usually wave 4s are longer in time. So basically what I'm looking for is, hey, you know, we have two big drops at the beginning. Price is still, look at price. It's still just, there's at no moment in time did we have a solid longer sideways range that could fit in time with your twos, right? These twos here. Now, if you do move into a 4, you can expect a very big wave 4. That's fine, but you still expect after a 4 to get a 5, right? Now, how long did this take? The high was 0.7, low was made 0.8. October, November. So this was 1 year. Wave 4s can easily take longer than a year if wave 2 is a year. So on NVIDIA, and this is of course the highest time frame. I'm on the weekly, but this is from the beginning of the chart, right? It doesn't matter if I have the monthly or the weekly here, but what we're looking for is still on the high time frame more upside. These ranges here, to me, from an Elliott wave point of view, when you look at the time, also the retracement, but also the time, doesn't make sense to me to count this as wave 4s that are similar to these two wave 2s. Plus, you have this here, move up, and again, like, is this a 1, 2, 1, 2? Okay, in that case, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then you could eventually start a bigger 4 and another 5, and then a big 4 and another 5, and then you have your whole finished structure. And that's going to take a while. So, yeah. Locally, long sideways range, yes. But are we going to count this as a 4? So this looks fine, like 1, flatten 2, cool. 1, 2. Definitely an extended wave. The issue I have with counting this 1, 2, and then a 3, 4, 5 is that your 5 is so long. And it's more common for, yeah, man, it's so long. It's most common for wave 3 to be long, right? So the fact that your wave 5 here is the same length as your wave 3, it's like, yo, are we still in a wave 3? No, where low, cool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can count a 5er here. It makes me think 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, where because you have a 1, 2 and then another 1, 2, even though of course it's very big in 1 but stock. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and this is your that's your wave 3. You know, it's a lot bigger. Makes a lot more sense instead of having a 5 same size as 3. Has to be said, this is from Elliott Wave International, that on time frames, weekly and higher, they frame it a little bit different, but on the higher time frames, weekly, monthly, yearly, the probabilities increase for extended wave 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason is that as this is a weekly / monthly or higher time frame, as price moved up, the amount of participants has significantly increased as price moved up, which therefore gives you the increased volume and extension in your 5 before you then drop down. So I have it in the back of my mind, but it's not really something that I can use without price at least losing structure here. No, minimum, you need to take out this low. At the moment, price simply moved down to the previous range. And if you're bullish, right, if you would get like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is another 4, another 5, wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to wave 4 of a lower degree, which is this range. I mean, as long as NVIDIA is not changing market structure, why bearish? You know what I mean? There's no reason for me to give highest probabilities to bears here. This move to the downside, if bearish, needs to be an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not possible. Overlap. Then you have a multi 1, 2, not possible because of this move up. And then you have a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then in this diagonal, I mean, this is very, very messy. This would be best as a flat, but if this is a flat, it's not a diagonal. So the probabilities on NVIDIA, it would make a lot more sense on a weekly time frame to continue looking up. If the 886 is touched, let's see what price it actually is. 133, that would help. Take out the high. But at the moment, there's no reason to be bearish on NVIDIA. You're literally at all-time highs still. So the probabilities are higher to move up, and then we just wait for another range. Yeah. How long are we going? 142. Wow. Of course, by the way, we don't go through all of that. Oh, R&DR found its way in. Yeah, so probably let's have a look at R&DR and AVAX, and then I'll check the chat. Have a quick few thoughts, like final thoughts on some coins, and then move. So these two, R&DR. I think it's this, no? This is I think the correct chart. Okay. This is a bearish scenario. Bullish scenario. Confluence. In a bullish scenario, we want more downside, by the way. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that possible? Yeah. So this is bullish scenario 1. We're gonna look here in a second. I just cover a few scenarios, then we get to probabilities. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, an extended 5 here. It's never preferred. Most bullish 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Invalidation 3, 13. Bearish actually looks pretty decent, but A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, W, X, A, B, C, Y. The problem is that If this is true, your only bullish scenario that is left is a bigger diagonal, which is going to be absolutely massive. And it's way too early to call diagonals on this. And all the other options is take the low and render goes to 0. So this is a very dramatic option. So instead of being on such a high time frame, let's have a look at the daily. If this is impulsive, it's a problem. If this is corrective, good for the bulls. Volume. Now price is moving down, volume is slowing down as well. That's what you like to see in corrective structures. Highest amount of volume in the low. This is not a wave 3, 4, 5. Truncations in 5, very rare for 5 to not take the low of 3. So probabilities are higher that the low here is made as a wave C, which is part of a corrective structure to the downside. Also, if we would like to count this impulsive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlap between wave 1 and wave 4. So that looks better as a 3 wave. Here again, by the way, high volume in the low. This is the same as link near where high volume, you took out the high, but you are still hugging clear support resistance on the chart. It's the same as all the others, so the probabilities are going to be similar as well. You got to move above support resistance back into the upper range. Now this move to the downside, because of the highest volume in the low here, automatically probabilities are higher. This is corrective, but if this is corrective, then all of this has a higher probability of being corrective. The volume is going down as well. This second leg down is very long compared to the first. So if you're looking for an impulse in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, besides the fact your wave 1 and 4 overlap now, which is not allowed, you also do not have the highest amount of volume in your wave 3. Right? The volume in your 1 is higher. So that's not what you want as a bear. As a bear, you would like to see 1, 2, high volume, 3, 4, 5, 4 and 1, no overlap, but we do have overlap. So because we have overlap here, we have to therefore consider, again, diagonals. Right? So then you need a diagonal. Now your wave 3 is very long, lowest probabilities. Not sure if your wave 4 is longer than your wave. Yeah, so your wave 4 is longer than your 2, meaning this becomes an expanding diagonal. And an expanding diagonal is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. So, and for a multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, your second one is incredibly long compared to your first one. Oops. Your first one. While most commonly, and what you actually want to see, is a second one, lower degree one, because we are talking degrees here. This is your highest degree 1, 2. And then you have a lower degree 1, 2. Right, so the lower degree 1, 2, this is, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inside this 3, we have the blue count. So it's inside the green 3. Now, commonly, your second 1 and 2 are therefore shorter in time and price compared to your first 1, 2, which is not the case. Or at least similar, but not like 2, 3 times longer. So it increases the probabilities. This is corrective. And we are looking for zigzag family structures, WXY, potential for an XZ. Same as on Link, same as on near as well. So yeah. So yeah, that's that really. I forgot to write down the time that we started with render. I guess we started around 1 hour 40. I'll check it. And then we had the AVAX. Okay, so up. Oh. Okay, let me have a look here. Yep, there you go. Same resistance till 33. Well, basically 34. Bullish scenario. There you go. This is like again link near. Bearish scenario. ABC, that's bearish. Confluence. Okay, so on AVAX, the bullish scenario here is your higher probability scenario. Point of control support. Target box, as you can see, is bigger than just the point of control. 13 is still okay. Now, in this particular case, impulsive move up, this move down, higher probability to be corrective. We'll check this in on the daily in a second. Yeah, similar to all of the, pretty much like quite a lot of other coins. So 1, 2, bearish would be ABC. Your bearish scenario is an ABC. You can see your wave C move to the 2.618. 2.618 is a less common target for a wave C though. It is a target. It is a target nonetheless. So we got to be aware. Let me put this in the group. And wave B hit the common target for a wave B. So that's positive. And from a bearish perspective, you don't want to count this as a structure 1, structure 2, and then you want to go down in your third structure to take the low. Now, if that is the case, and you look for the low to be taken, we want to count impulsive structures to the downside locally. So we go to the daily. Toggle on the volume. Price moves down. Highest volume here in the low. 1, 2, 3. This has to be 4 and then a 5. We can't end 5 here. Like this is 4, this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do you even do this, right? 1 and 4 overlap. We can't end an impulse down here. So if this is an impulse down, we would need like 1, 2, 3. Highest volume is most common in 3. 4, 5. Okay, so then we end 5 here. And then this has to be a 3-wave structure. Now price took out this low, which means you only have 2 options. This is B or this is X. In B, 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C to take out the high. Right, that's most common. Hasn't happened yet. Plus, if this is all still wave C, your wave C is incredibly long. Not that one, that one. It's over twice the length of A plus B because this is A, B. Fib time from the start of A to the end of B. Toggle on the 2. And this is over twice the length of A plus B. Oh, we're literally on top of it actually. Oh, finished. So by the time you're going to move above this high, you're going to make that high after the 2 fib time. Not taking out this high in a flat, A, B, C, is a running flat, very rare, never preferred. Plus, you have overlap. This has to be then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because a 5-wave structure needs 3 highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has to be 1 if this is the end of a wave C for a running flat ABC, which by itself is already very rare. More so, that it then also even becomes some sort of a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it doesn't make sense. So, and then you have your X. This is then your W, X, and then we need a Y. W, either a flat or a zigzag, X, and then Y. A, B, C. Triangle is not allowed in Y anymore because we took out the high, so then we need a zigzag or a flat. Well, for a flat, we need price to move down and hit the 0.9 Fibonacci, which is at 18, which we didn't do. So at the moment, you would need to look for a zigzag here. However, wave Y cannot be an internal WXY. Only simple structures, A, B, C. Also doesn't look too likely. So yeah, probability is higher that we have some corrective price action to the downside, which therefore increases the probabilities for the bullish scenario. Yo, cheers, BBL. Welcome back as well. So there you go. AVAX. Oh, damn. I forgot to write this one down as well. But I remember it was at like 151, something like that. Okay. Yo. Yo, Patrick, how you doing, man? Okay. Now this, I'm now finished with the voting. I will only very quickly look at a few that I see in chat. Yo, there he is. You saw that? Happens quite often. Okay, so DOGE, we are at support. Hit it over here. WXY, that's your bullish scenario. Holy moly, weekly. Highest volume in your wave 3. Something you would like to see. Comment target. Wow, can definitely see I didn't do this one for a while. Remove. Up. So comment target for 2 hit. Yeah. The checking. Okay, time we good. Confluences. Oh, we hit the daily and rejected. Nice, 20%. Why did we bounce here? I bet I removed it, but okay. We bounced because of the point of control. Yeah, so, well, you know, you move above, what's this? 0.15, basically. Oops. From an Elliott wave point of view, 1, 2 is your bullish scenario. Same as all the other coins. This has to be a wave C in a bearish scenario. So then we go to daily. Overlap. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure and this is a 1, and then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, then you have overlap between a wave 1 and a wave 2, 1 and 4, which is not allowed. So therefore you don't have to think about diagonals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a contracting diagonal as a bearish scenario. Take a fib from the start to the end to the high, toggle on the 1 to 1. Wave 3 is shorter than your wave 1. And undoubtedly your 5 is shorter than your 3. Now in a leading diagonal, these waves can be zigzag family structures or impulses, so I don't really like to deep dive into that. But your bearish scenario is a diagonal. 1 second, let me check if wave 4 is actually bigger than 2. Yes, it is. So contracting diagonal invalidated. 4 is not allowed to be bigger than wave 2 in price. Therefore, you have to go think about expanding diagonals, but in an expanding diagonal, 5 has to be longer than 5 has to be longer than 1, which is not the case. Can't count diagonals here. Can't count an impulse here because of the overlap. Most bearish scenario is a multi 1-2, which then would be 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and price tanking. Massive move to the downside. And if I take a fib from this high to the low, then the moment price touches the 886, probabilities immediately increase for price to take the high. Now, if this is a final 1-2, and we take a fib time from the start to the end of the move towards the downside, then we can see we are currently at like 4-5. The high here is made before the wave 4. So in other words, if price does take out this high, even without touching 886, probabilities are higher to take that high. And for bullish price action. Yes. Now at the moment, the probabilities are higher. So, right, because we just concluded diagonal here doesn't work, impulse here doesn't work. Your most bearish scenario is a multi 1-2. You cannot invalidate a multi 1-2 until you change market structure. So this is your invalidation. This is quite a big multi 1-2 where your second wave 1 is bigger than your first, does impact the probabilities negatively. It's not an invalidation by all means. It's just not preferred. And when we think about the markets in general, and keep in mind other coins as well, the probabilities would be higher that this is corrective. But if you want a bit more security and, you know, like confidence, then take out that high would do great. Take out this high and touch the 886 as shown earlier would be a good sign. Not that price then moves up in a straight line, no, but then increasing probabilities, it is corrective and not impulsive. To the upside with regards to confluences, we hit the daily, monthly and daily are resistance. If you move above 15, that would be good because you also take out that high, plus you move back above the support resistance area and get into the upper bracket. So, so there you go, there you go. Okay, SEI hit the support on the chart, very nice, hit the daily. Resistance to the upside, 0.2, 0.72 that I have on my chart here. Actually, we have the previous range here, so that's again support resistance. Very simple, we pretty much hit the point of control. But yeah, you're currently just like Link, just like Near, just like a lot of alts. You're at resistance, which is quite simply the support resistance flip that we have here. From an Elliott wave point of view, I have two folders. Quick look, what's the bear? Yeah, probabilities are higher for the bullish scenario. Invalidation is very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finish 1, 2, you want to look up for 3. Now, if this wave 2 is in, right, you don't want to see the low taken. Target is 618786, so you do have enough space, but let's see. Also here again, corrective or impulsive. Highest amount of volume in your low. Increasing probabilities, this is corrective. also here in the low, plus you broke structure. So the probabilities are higher that this move down is corrective in zigzag family structures. Think WXY as an example, or even a WXYXZ structure. And yeah, on a high time frame, you would then still be looking for price to follow SUI, probably the little brother or whatever, SEI, very original. But 1, 2, and yeah, you want to see price move. Currently hugging resistance, right? The simple support resistance on the chart. Yeah. Wow, what the hell is this? Okay, so I saw this one here. Neo, probably not many people keeping an eye on this, can't imagine, but very three-wavy looking move towards the upside. There's the possibility at least to count an impulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 4 is short compared to 2. Happens, and then you get this massive structure to the downside, closing in on the 3 fib time, which is still okay. But look, we can be quite simple here. Corrective structures in Elliott waves like to retrace to either a wave 4 or a wave 2. Which means previous ranges. It is very uncommon for ranges or for a corrective structure to find support in the middle of nowhere, right? In bigger pumps. You're going to be looking for the ranges. This is your range. You are literally at the low at the moment. So if this is not holding, all-time lows. You're at the low on the chart, which makes this, of course, incredibly easy to analyze, because if this range is not holding, you're going to look for the lows. This is your final support. Where are we from an Elliott wave point or a Fibonacci point of view? Golden pocket. So we dipped below the golden pocket, moving back above. Holy shit. Weekly. Okay. So your most bearish scenario here would be an impulse down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Correction. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't take that low here. Did we? Did we not? It doesn't look like it. No, we didn't. So you got to end an impulse there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Price hit the 886, so yeah, something to say about price touching the 886, almost taking out the low. From a 886 perspective, probabilities would be higher to take out this low. However, I think you now passed the 1.618. So therefore, the 88, oh no. Okay, so if you move beyond the 1.618, the 886 probabilities go away, and it's much better to observe local price action, because there's the potential for a 1, 2, 3 if you move above 835 on NEO. Your bearish scenario is a multi 1, 2 to the downside, bringing NEO to absolute like graveyard prices. So here you have then your 1, and then your 2, and another 1, and then another 2, and then down you go. Right? So yeah, I'm not yet sold on this. Again, like trading and investing is about risk management, having an edge, knowing your entry, probabilities in your favor, and a change of market structure would be nice. Yeah, we haven't seen a change of market structure like forever on this thing. Highest volume here in the low, and in the downtrend also in the low. So arguably, right, from a trader's perspective, you actually want to stay around or stay above the point of control. Let me check here. Still quite okay. There you go. So point of control 453 would be good to stay above 453. No, that's your point of control. Point of control in the low. That's something you do like to see. It shows there was a lot of interest here, a lot of buying and selling going on, because the point of control is just volume. No idea, buying, selling, both. But the fact price moves up, price retraced a lot. It shows interest. It shows activity at the low. So preferably you don't move below 453. Right? Now that's a bit of like traditional and like tools and analysis instead of Elliott waves, but you got to make sense of this move to the downside. Your, of course, bullish scenario is that this move down is a zigzag, where we then have our wave A, B, C. Yeah, I do prefer counting an impulse down here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. It's I don't really like counting W, W, X. Well, no, that doesn't even work. A, B, and then a very long C, W, X, Y. Nah, I prefer either an A, B, C, or you go like graveyard. So yeah, it's a difficult chart, and also simple technical analysis proves that we are at resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you want to, what did we say, you want to take this high right now. If you take that high instead, because then you invalidate a double 1, 2. It's not gonna be the low, but you know, like it gives you an edge, it gives you more confidence, and you can start actually like building a plan around the price action. And locally, if there's interest here to buy according to your own plan, first of all, there's resistance. So step 1 would be to move above this, and you want to stay above the point of control, preferably as well at 453. Yeah. Patrick, yes. I like puzzling. For me, it's like playing a game. I like analyzing the chart, playing the game, counting the waves. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But also, if I did not like Elliott waves or counting Elliott waves, then probably I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Neither would I upload multiple times a day for already 1.5 years and teaching people. Plus, probably would not do live streams that are a couple of hours. So you know, I like what I do. Whoa, nice point of control touched, eh? Okay, support found. Okay, nice. Wait, did we actually take out the low here? Oops. Wow. It's just same level. Nice. Anyway. What a crazy chart. Is there any structure in this move up? Yeah, okay. We have one red candle here, so this has to be a 4. So we do have the potential of some sort of a wave 4 in the move to the upside. A, B, C, D, E, that's not allowed, took the high. A, B, C, D, E, not allowed, took the high. So preferably I would like to end a corrective structure here, and this is a 1 and then 2 and then continue, instead of counting from the low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't work because 4 is too deep. So not good. Let's look at the corrective move instead, or the move down. Who knows? Can be impulsive. Okay. Second, hit the golden pocket, invalidating a wave 4. What I was looking for is there a chance to count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 618 is touched, invalidating a wave of 4, increasing the probabilities that all of this is not an impulse. Besides, it does look quite. It's not very quick, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just wanted to double check. So at the high, of course, like this is very 3 wavy. For Bitcoin, the target is like the thing I was looking for was the daily naked point of control at 62.550. We are still below more resistance, just below, but waiting for another range, because like what I said, I did Bitcoin at 13 minutes. So I recommend to go to minute 13 of the live stream, and then I analyze Bitcoin there. So you know the probabilities and what I look for at the moment. WXY, it's attractive to count it. Your wave Y is it long? Oh, I mean, you did hit the target. common target area for Y is hit. So there's definitely something to say about a low there and it being corrective instead of impulsive. Because if we want to count this as an impulse to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlap. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. No, 618 touched, invalidated. Multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, whatever. No. Diagonal. 1, 2, you then need 3, 4, 5, but then 3 is bigger than your 1. This move down does lower the probabilities. We do have overlap between a 1 and 4. However, I think your wave 4 is longer or bigger in price than your 2. Yep, and therefore, expanding diagonal, very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails, which means probabilities here are higher. This is corrective price action and to still look for the highs on SHIB. It's just that the move down here, higher probabilities of this being corrective, not impulsive, which automatically increases probabilities to still look for the highs. Yeah, and that's the only thing that really you have to know, and then it's up to your own plan to find a nice entry, nice trade, nice whatever. But the directional bias is to still look for the highs to be taken at a later stage. Yep. Oh. Yeah. I can't even remember the last time I checked BNB. Is it even in my list? No, it's not. Nice. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Okay. Ah, you took the high. Very, very old analysis, but the 236 is touched. Minimum target for a 4. Target area is still a lot bigger though. Yeah. You only wicked this high. That's not what you like to see in a wave 5. Like your highest probability here is that you start with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and then look for 4, 5, 4, 5. What's this? Yeah, I was creative back in the day. This doesn't make sense. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C. So even in the bearish scenario here, I was still looking for price to move to the upside, it seems. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, C. Take the high, but that's something that happened. Finished A, B, C doesn't work because we took the high. So, and I'm never happy with just a swing on a high, like for a wave 5. You wanna see candles close. That's way more common. Invalidation is clear. Target for 4 clear. Go to the weekly. 3. Yeah, so you're like, we can talk about scenarios at least. The fact you took the high, bearish scenario becomes a flat A, B, C, swipe the lows, then move up. Bullish scenario is you started an impulse to the upside. Finished corrective structure. Also longer than your wave 2, so minimum target for 4 is reached. You hit the 886 here as well, so automatically probabilities were higher to take the high, but now we actually did. So cool. Bullish scenarios, of course, impulsive move towards the upside. I think I actually have to go even lower here. Lower time frame. Doesn't... If price is going to make a new high here after the 2 FIB time, which is basically if it makes a new high, probabilities increase that this is corrective and you take the high. So that is one thing that one can look for, I suppose. If this is bearish, we need impulsive structures, which means either an impulse, 1, 2, 3, sideways, 4, 5, and then this has to be A, B, C. Problem with counting an ABC here is we only have 2 highs, and for C you need 3 highs. So we can't count a nice C here, or WXY, but then W is a zigzag, Y is a zigzag. That's not allowed because X went below. Probabilities increase now for this to be corrective instead of impulsive. I mean, it looks 3. It looks better as a 3. Else, else you got to count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You need a 5, 4, and a 5, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, big 5. But it looks more. It looks like we can kind of agree it looks more like a 3-wave structure than a 5-wave structure there. Issue is that zigzags can be part of a lot of corrective structures. If this is a finished ABC, you took the low. So therefore you're going to be thinking WXY, right? Because your low is now a corrective low, not an impulsive low. Which means you're not going to be done ranging yet, but it does increase probabilities that this is corrective and you still look for higher, which would be in confluence with what you're looking for in the very high time frame, which is, I mean, my analysis, I don't know how old it was. I just changed the color of the fibs, but this is, yeah, I mean, it's still pretty much on. So, yeah. Yeah, no problem, Anton. Approximate target. Well, in that case, you're going to calculate wave 5 targets, which means we use the lows that we have at the moment. Also, just like, 1 second here, I just at least want to check this. Yeah, there is still the potential. If you hit 630, at least you invalidate the potential for a sharp double zigzag, but it's not yet invalidated. So this range is important support here at 300. Won't be surprised if the point of control is also around there, by the way. Yeah, not bad. 274. Oh, wait, let me do this. 300. Okay, yeah. Yeah, 272. Okay, so look, you're now on top of the value area high. So far, the local price action does look corrective. It's not easy to count it as a nice impulsive structure. But, yeah, you don't really want to lose that, do you? So, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Another swing of the high. Yeah, your bear scenario is a flat, bullish scenario is continuation, but on the daily, if you want to be bearish, then this has to be an impulse. It's just if you ended here, WXY doesn't work. ABC, you need another high. So it looks better corrective. But if this is an ABC, and that's what I mentioned just now, like you can still have a bigger corrective structure. So it's not like, oh, we can't go down, but your probabilities, your directional, like high time frame bias, right? Even if you continue ranging here, it doesn't matter. You're still looking for price to move up in the long term. But even locally, like, yeah, this is higher probability to be corrective. You want to, that's your bias. Now, with regards to targets, 4 away 5, there's a few ways. Take a target or a fib from the start to end of 4, or what I also like to do is the start of 4 to the lowest point of 4. You can do both. And then toggle on the 1.618 and the 1.236. So that's 968 to 1,608. Wow, nice. To the 1.618. Quite literally. That's funny. Never had that before. And if you're a little bit more conservative, 943 to 151. Now then there is a 1-to-1 taken from low 1, high 1. Let's use the low here. That gives you a higher target, and then 0.618. Even higher. So yeah, your minimum target would be, what was it, 950 we said? 950, and then your max would be 4.4K. That would be big. But that is then your green 5, and then you look for another 4 and another 5. Yeah, double golden zone. Exactly. Exactly. Yo, cheers, Ganam. Yeah, no problem, Anton. And look, you want to be conservative, and I say this on Bitcoin as well. Like, yes, I also hear and see targets of 500K and 400, and I don't know how much, 300. But we are at 62.7K. We are not even close, of course, to 300. Is it in the realm of possibility? Of course it's in the realm of possibility. Just like you moved from 3K to 65K, right? But you can't expect those like super high moves as a primary. I remember when price was moving up from 30K to 65K, people were talking about 200, 300K Bitcoin already as their targets. And then we hit 65, moved down to 30 again. And then we moved back to 69. So everyone was again talking about, hey, and then we went down to 15. So I prefer to be conservative first, right? And depending on the ranges, I'll be bullish. So I'll make sure to keep an eye on what's happening here. That's what I'm saying, right? If in BNB 940, 1500, like this area here, right? I'll be paying very close attention to the price action. Know the waves, look for resistance, wait for ranges to form, because always if price moves up, eventually it's going to range, and the range is going to give you all the information, right? Yeah, so of course in a range it means you first have to survive a move down, but price always comes back up later. Down, and then comes back up, and then down again, but you get more clarity. All right, so yeah, better be conservative. So gold, check my YouTube video on the main homepage channel. I did a gold analysis on the yearly chart, monthly, weekly, and the daily. So it's on my homepage, on my Bitcoin homepage. One second here. Oh. Okay, 36. LITECOIN. I have nothing going on this chart. Wow, forever ranging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least we can count an impulse up. So that's something. That's of course your bullish scenario. 181. Pump. Okay, what do we have here? Clear 3. Also a 3 down. Makes me think of XRP, this one. Potential of an impulse, but then you have 3, 3. What is the chance of having a that would be dramatic for LITECOIN. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a solid impulse. This is a good impulse. Clear 3-wave structure with a zigzag in the middle, creating an ABC. This has to be your 4. This is also an ABC. It's clearly a 3-wave structure to the downside. Yo, cheers, Ganam. Thank you, man. Now this is, look, I have a few ideas, but because you have a 3-wave up and a 3-wave down here, you start thinking about WXYs and triangles. Now, by all means, let's keep this very short. I don't have the energy as well to do this long. Price touched the 886. So probabilities are higher to still take out the high. Probabilities are higher. Everything that is after the 886 is corrective. 886 is rare for 2, common for a wave B or a wave X. Increasing the probabilities, everything here is corrective and still take out the high. Don't want to do in that, like, it doesn't make sense. We touch the 886, done. So we can have a little look locally, see if there's anything here, but that's it on the weekly. Where's the low? Where's the low? Where's the low? Is that a low? Okay, that's the 886. So this is the recent low. Highest amount of volume here in the low. If this is a wave 3, you took the low in a 5, 1, 2, but what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. We only made one lower low here. So that doesn't really work. You are now at resistance after a quick drop. Your first area of resistance is the previous order block. Probably best as an ABC. Can't deny I'm not sold on this move up as an impulse because of the overlap here. A, B, C. A, B, C. It's not like a great impulse to the upside this here. You can't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because of the overlap. Yeah. But locally, yeah, highest volume in the low, but you did take the low, so this opens at least a possibility for an impulse, but that would mean that you need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this 1, 2, it doesn't make sense. So we have very clearly down. Like, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if you don't know about what I just did, the numbers matter. So 3, 7, 11, 15, etc. are bearish, are corrective numbers. 5, 9, 13, 17, etc. are bullish numbers. And what do I mean with this? If you count the structure, or try to, and you're like, you know, I don't want to count it in a lot of detail. Let me just use numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We took the low here, so that's your 7. It can give you a clue of what the structure to the downside is, which would be corrective. Because a corrective structure is always at least a 3-wave structure. But if you add a corrective structure on top of a 3-waver, it becomes, oops, a 7-waver, because you add 4 more waves. Ashley, let's do option number 2. Because we already had option number 1 recently. So yeah, higher probabilities to look at this as a corrective structure. Price retrace so high as well. Like this is not wave 4 price action anymore, which increases probabilities to still take out that high. And on the weekly, you hit the 886. You know, that's it. Ordering food options. I know. Yeah. So the thing is, like, so I had really big lunch. Because at the go-kart track, or at least a good lunch, and we want to keep it simple for dinner. So we're like, shall we have like food and popcorn because we are gonna watch series, or are we gonna order sushi? But then I'm like, well, we ate sushi like I think like 2 weeks ago, and I don't like to overkill sushi, you know. So I was like, yeah, let's choose the soup and the popcorn one. And if we're hungry, we just, you know, do more. But let's keep it simple. Well, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, oh. Jamon? You mean jamon or jambon in French? Like, yeah, proper meal. Maybe we can order. Like, guys, is there a good food ordering app in France, or can we use like? We can always consider something else, like takeaway. Is that a thing that you use in France? Takeaway, or what's I mean, I like we have quite some nice places relatively close. I'm not sure if I can actually. Oh, I can. I'm just checking. Oh, it's called Just Eat. Yo, it gives me the whole French website, man. Okay, this is... Okay, so it does exist. That's all I wanted to know. Oh, we can have a look later. I mean, I do like some soup as well. But I had steak and fries for lunch. Nice. Nice. Where are we? GRT. Wait, I think I remember GRT. I probably have a chart somewhere with a count on GRT. Very, very old. Anyway, that's irrelevant to where we are now. It's actually, this is most interesting now. So this is, look, this is the thing, right? 3 wave down. Right, that's quite clear. Okay. Reason is overlap. Only alternative is a diagonal, but your 4 is much bigger than your 2. Lower probabilities. Impulse to the downside, this counts pretty good as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want an impulse, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We never got to 4 and 5, and there's no range bigger than 2 here, here, or here because we never went down. So therefore probabilities are higher. This is a 3-wave structure now. Increasing probabilities to still look for the high. Even though you made an all-time low here, it's an all-time low after a 3-wave structure to the downside. Now, of course, there you go again, an ABC can be part of bigger corrective structures. Doesn't mean you already have an impulse up. It can be part of bigger corrective structures. WXY, flats, triangles. So then the trick, of course, is what's happening over here. Now, instead of analyzing these moves to the upside, I like to then focus on the move to the downside, because if this is corrective, you're going to look for this high. That's your bias. If this has a possibility of being impulsive, there's a door open to look for lower prices, or at least take the low or move too much lower. So, quick peek. Yeah, it's of course possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an extended 5. So there's the possibility of an impulsive structure. You retrace back to your 4 price section. You need an impulse here again. What is the low? Which one is the low? On the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, WXY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. WXY. 2. 1, 2. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Shorter. Okay. Up. Whoops. Jeroen is Andrew, right? Tag Jeroen for a second in Discord in the question area, because he is making a lot of progress at the moment with the CVD stuff. It's literally like his stuff is already working, like a payment, and then getting an email, and we're in the final. He's in the final stages. I gave it to him because I just don't have the time. Right? I can't, with all the content. I just can't put time into that. But Jeroen can. So tag him for an update. Of course, if you want to support the channel as an affiliate and do stuff with your tax form, always like, first of all, thanks, and second, we appreciate that support, and but just know, like, you tag Jeroen. Jeroen's trading. Wait, it's this guy. Tag him with the logo. He's my employee, Jeroen. So he's working on it. He has written me 5 messages today, so I don't know what he spoke about, but just tag him. He knows where he is in the process, and if based on the messages I received over the last week, it's in the final stages, and we just open things up bit more administration on our side instead of automating everything, but it's progress. I don't want to lose the speed, which I already did, because my ass is just too busy with all the other stuff, so I can't put time in it. So I said, yo, Jeroen, just fix this, make this, and he is awesome. And yeah, whatever. We just have a bit more administration in the beginning, no problem. We'll automate things at a later stage. Let's first see if things work and people are even interested. But with regards to GRT, there is, of course, possibility to count an impulse, clear correction impulse, right? Invalidation on the chart. You hit the 786, maximum target for a 2. 886 is, of course, below. And then finally, look at the volume. First structure down here. Highest amount of volume. So same as Link, same as all the other near and all the other stuff. So highest volume in the low. This is not a 4-5 compared to 2, 3, 4 because 4 is too high. Meaning a higher probability to have a corrective structure to the downside from the high. Just like Link and all the others. So this would be your bullish scenario, is just another 1-2, double 1-2 on GRT. Is this overlap or no overlap? There is overlap here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlap. Okay, there is some overlap. Can we count this impulse? If this would be a 1 and this is a 2, we need a 3, 4, and a 5. But if this is a finished impulse, you want the 382 to be touched, which it didn't. So yeah, I mean, I even in a bearish scenario, you actually still want higher prices if this is a finished move to the downside in a 5 wave. 1, 2. Oh no, wait, we have over. Wait, if the 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, there's overlap between 1 and 4. It doesn't make sense unless you have a diagonal. Diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possible. 5 is shorter than 3 by the looks of it. Double check. Need to take the low. That's true. 3, however, is longer than 1, I think. High, low, high. It is not. So yeah, there is the potential for at least a diagonal, which would be bearish, but then you still want the 382 touched as a minimum target, which isn't touched. We can count an impulse here. We can count this as either a diagonal or, of course, corrective. Now, we do have the highest volume in the low. If it's a diagonal, then preferably a diagonal with 3 wave structures. So 3, correction, 3, correction, 3. But you at least want still upside. So it doesn't change then the probabilities, where you still want to see GRT as a bare minimum locally move up. Yeah, cheers, crypto paralysis, and keep it simple. You know, like you don't have to know all the subwaves and stuff. So I start looking down and see, is this an impulse or ABC? High probability it's an ABC. Quick check at the impulse is up, and then it's about the move down. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I gotta eat. I can continue, but I have to eat with the wife. We've literally done like the whole altcoin industry. Bitcoin, Solana, USDT, Dominance, SUI, Near, Link, ADA, Tesla, NVDA, Render, AVAX, DOGE, SEI, NEO, which is a stock, SHIB, BNB, LITECOIN, GRT. So I know there's a lot more, but what I recommend you to do if you are interested in another alt, go to Discord, go to the, where is it? Altcoin channel, post your count in here, post your account in here and just tag this guy. That's me. And then I see your tag. I can check your chart. I can give feedback. Maybe someone in the team or someone else gives you feedback. Yeah, that would be the best idea, I think. Jeez, what a live stream. I'm finished, Joe. So, yeah, I get it on Andrew. Yeah, by the way, Andrew, thanks, of course. Yeah, right. Just tag him. Tag Jeroen. I'll check his messages probably tomorrow. I'll write him a message maybe later, but probably tomorrow. What a shoot. So yeah, thanks everyone. I will put in the timestamps, but I'll do that probably before I go to bed, because first dinner time with the wife. Probably watch some series. I did write everything down, like the whole list. Pop. So that is done, and I'll just put this in my YouTube studio later. So yeah, thanks everyone for popping in and sticking around. Oh, you just DM. Okay, that's cool. Just you can tell him you come through me, that I told you to send him a message. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here, and some of you for sticking around for so long. It's a 3-hour live stream. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's Sunday, enjoy the final hours of the weekend with friends, family, wherever you live in the world. Maybe it's still daytime and you can touch some grass or whatever. But thanks for being here, and I will see you again tomorrow.